All right, let's get it started. Thanks, Mitch and Christina, for joining. I realize we're competing with a huge other space announcement. Artemis is announcing the 4 astronauts that will be going to the moon. So, thank you everyone for joining us. But yeah, maybe we can also offer some live commentary on that too. But yeah, we're super excited to be announcing our ZeroG launch. This has been something that we've been working on for a few months now to put together, and it's a huge huge opportunity. So we're flying in ZeroG with Nicole Stott and Doug Hurley. Doug Hurley is the first SpaceX astronaut to go to the ISS. Nicole Stott is just, living legend astronaut, also in the ISS. And yeah, we're not only like going to ZeroG with them. There's a special event that's also happening where you actually get to meet them, and it. In my opinion, I feel like this is like just one of the coolest networking opportunities, because you're not only meeting these legendary NASA astronauts, but also a ton of people from MoonDAO, and yeah, it's the first time that we're doing this also, and yeah, we're just really excited. But you can't like what I'd say that what MoonDAO is doing differently with this is that it's not just like, hey, come purchase these seats. We're also doing a sweepstakes for our community, so everyone has an equal chance of being selected through an on-chain random selection. So if you're part of our community, definitely make sure to get one of those NFTs, and then we'll be selecting the winner in about a month. And then also we're doing a social media competition. So you can submit a 1-minute video about why you should be selected, and then MoonDAO will actually vote on those videos. So yeah, there are multiple different ways of being selected. Um, but yeah, we also we're joined here by Christina, who uh, was able to make this all possible. So this is all through a partnership with Christina, with her nonprofit Space for a Better World, and yeah, we're really lucky to be working with her. Yeah,
I'm
Christina.
happy to be here too. I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, likewise. Would love to hear some words from you on about the experience, and yeah, take it away.
Well, thank you for having me. And as you say, I'm very excited too, because right at this moment, they're getting ready to announce the next 4 astronauts to orbit the moon for the first time in 50 years. It's very exciting with the Artemis program. And so the reason it's so relevant too is because my space nonprofit Space for a Better World is all about trying to educate people about why it matters to go back to space, why it matters to go to the moon. And so it's not just to prove that we can go to the moon, it's what we will be doing there for the future of humanity, which is really exciting. But also, I think the inspiration that we'll get from that will impact everyone in ways that we can hardly imagine. But I'm the witness to Apollo and how that changed the world, and how we all benefit from that today. And that's why this in particular is so exciting to me. And so doing the ZeroG flights was something that I started thinking of doing because obviously it's something very fun to do. It's the gateway to space tourism, of going suborbital and then to space in orbit and then onto the moon, which I know is your guys' goal of sending people to the moon eventually. So the zero gravity experience, if you've never done it, it is so much fun. It's so much fun that there are so many astronauts who come to me and say, "Hey, I want to go on a zero G flight with you." and and that's what happened with Doug Hurley, who's a very experienced NASA astronaut, and had said to me, "I've only ever been on one zero G flight." I said, "Yeah, but you just spent months in space." He said, "I know, but it's different." And so even astronauts who are seasoned astronauts, having spent many months in orbit around the Earth, love doing zero gravity flights. So I've done this 3 times already, and I'm really excited to partner with MoonDAO on this idea, because I met you guys at the Blue Origin launch in August of last year, and I think we have a shared purpose of, like, we're all very passionate space uh, and supporters, like people who look to space, want to go to space, that sort of thing. And so I am excited when I can give people this opportunity to float in zero gravity, because it really is the first way to kind of experience it that isn't outrageously expensive. And you get more zero G weightlessness in a zero gravity flight than you do on a suborbital flight. And so I encourage people all the time to do this, because you get 15 parabolas, you get to experience Mars gravity, moon gravity, and then zero gravity, which is very cool. And so, but what's special about what I do with the zero G flights and why we're partnered on this is, I have the power to bring astronauts like Nicole and Doug. And then along with that, we try to make it a VIP experience. And for the first time, we'll be doing this in Houston. And part of it is that we will be going with those astronauts to Johnson Space Center, into places that only astronauts can go typically. And so it's not just going on a zero G flight, which is super fun, but I've done it without, like, my experience, and it does feel a bit like getting on a ride and getting off. Whereas what we're offering here is this day long, really almost 2 days worth of experience of hanging out with these astronauts and getting to hear their stories and getting to rub elbows with them, and then go to a really special place that you couldn't go if you weren't with them. And then we have a private dinner, and we do a panel discussion, and it's just for the people who are on the plane. And as Pablo mentioned, like, I have seen so much networking going on all of my flights, because usually the people who come on all have interesting things happening with their companies or what they're investing in, that sort of thing. So it's a really awesome opportunity to connect with other people who are, passionate about the things that you're passionate about. And then maybe there's possibilities of doing work together or partnering on things or collaborating. So um, I hope, for those who have never done it, or who have who want to do it, I hope you come and join us, because it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, Charlie Duke, the 10th man on the moon, has done it with me 3 times, and he still wants to do more of them. He just, he's got a busy schedule too. But I'm really excited to do this with Doug, because like I said, he's only ever done one, even though he's spent months in space. And Nicole is like my partner in purpose. She's like my main supporter of Space for a Better World, and she is the most universally loved astronaut that I've ever met. So I know whoever decides to join us, it'll be a memory that you will have forever. And I really think that it'll be like a literal launch pad for, not just having this amazing experience and maybe your first stage of going to space, but also the possibilities of meeting other people that you could work with or collaborate with or partner with or do business with? I know that was long-winded, Pablo, sorry.
No, that was awesome. Yeah, yeah. So many reasons for why this opportunity is so special. We're also joined here by Mitchie. Another reason why this is like an interesting project is that MoonDAO doesn't have like employees. Everything that we do, everything that you see, the social media, the Discord, like all of this is operated by our community. And this project was also operated and created by our community. So yeah, Mitchie here is one of the leaders of this project, alongside some of the people that are here in this audience. I see Ryan in here as well. Name.get. Um, yeah, Lucas, also so many people that have worked on this project and made this launch possible. I mean, this is really just the beginning of getting the word out there. But yeah, we've been working, burning the midnight oil on this one. So Mitchie, I don't know if you wanna share a bit about the process and what it's been like working on this, and maybe, yeah, what excites you about the project.
Yeah, okay. Putting me a bit on the spot here, but yeah, I think that this is probably one of the most exciting projects that MoonDAO has done. I mean, it's the next best thing since we sent literally sent someone into space, and yeah, it wasn't a like it was definitely a group effort. Um, Even the work I did depended heavily a lot on the stuff that other people did. Christina supplied some excellent graphics and information with the PDF and things that she sent. Ryan also developed a lot of really great content that was useful here. And yeah, just generally getting everyone's feedback. I'm really happy about how we managed to all work together and put this together. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. I don't have I don't have much else to say besides that.
Yeah, no,
Oh, and Colin, I just want to call out Colin too. He did a lot of great work with the smart contracts and a lot of the back end stuff. And we should also mention Ari, who made a lot of these connections and things happen as well.
Yes, Ari was on my last ZeroG flight, and he sponsored the astronaut chat that we did. And we hadn't done that before in the previous two. We had the dinner and got up and said a few words, but I thought the panel was excellent, and everybody still has brought it up, how much they loved that, to have hear that conversation between the astronauts and Ari and me. He's a great moderator.
Yeah, yeah, Ari's great. Well, he also, so he's the one who really sold me on the ZeroG experience. And by the way, like we don't get special rights because we're working on it on the ZeroG team. Like I'm buying my own ticket. But Ari sold me. It's just the way he said it. He said that he felt as though it was like the natural state that our body is like supposed to be in. Like when he started he was like it was just like a return to like reset home, like, and that just really caught my attention. I guess, yeah, we don't really notice that how like at every waking moment of our life we're kind of being dragged down a little bit, but to kind of turn that off for just a few moments yeah, I'm really excited to experience that. I think that's gonna be. He already said it was life changing. Yeah, I
Oh
can't.
yeah, I mean, for me too, I've done it 4 times. You don't do it once and think, "Oh, okay, I'm good." It makes you want to do it again and again and again. And even my kids, by the way, have done it. My son was 7 years old and my daughter was 10 when they did it. And my daughter finally, was at the end, like trying to do lots of flips, and then she's like, "Can we come back tomorrow?" And I was like, no, no, we can't come back tomorrow. But is that going to be your first time, right, Pablo? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it'll be my first time ever. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're going to love it. I mean, I love it. I could do it every day. It's awesome. It's so much fun. But I do agree, like, it feels, to me, it feels very natural. And I think for those who have this yearning to go to space, that's what it's going to do, is it's going to kind of light that within you even more, that you want. That's, because people ask me all the time, would you go to space? Like, would I go on a suborbital flight or to orbit? And I'm like, heck yeah, I was made for space. I don't have the resources, but I will find a way to get there, because I think that that is a place where I was meant to be. And I think a lot of people in this community probably feel that way too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, we're also thinking about doing something with MoonDAO where, if you do enough of these experiences, so uh, ZeroG, maybe an analog mission, maybe even a scuba mission, um, we like curate and put together a that gives you on-chain credentials. So we would actually like give you each of these credentials as you complete them, and then if you collect enough of them, maybe it's like a way of saying that, hey, you've passed the test, you meet all of the same qualifications as, say, a NASA astronaut would. It would have to span a bunch of different dimensions, of health and skills and intellect too, potentially. Because I know that, well, yeah, almost all of the NASA astronauts have STEM degrees. So, yeah, I think that would be a really interesting
Well,
thing.
they all you yeah, I was gonna say the scuba diving thing too. All astronauts train underwater to learn how to spacewalk too. So that would be a very cool thing. That again, I could help you guys put together with astronauts, because that's the kind of thing that we do some of that. I finally scuba dived last year with Nicole Stott in the Maldives for my first time. But it's something that they all do in order to learn how to spacewalk.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's in a way very similar. um, yeah, I guess, yeah, the point. Well, there's much more resistance. I guess that's probably the part that will trip people up. Something Ari was telling me too is that you don't really notice that you'll like push off just so gently off one side of the plane when you're in ZeroG, and then all of a sudden you're on the opposite corner. It's like these move, tr- like super fast over to the other side, which seems just so counterintuitive, like mind breaking. Um, yeah.
You're gonna love it. I'm telling you. One thing that I think, it takes a little bit of usually a couple, at least a few parabolas, is to get used to the idea that you don't actually have to push very hard off the wall or off the floor. As a matter of fact, if you don't push off, you just start floating. And so it's like literally like a finger tap. And it is kind of amazing how quickly you can float through. And I saw some guys like spinning around in a way that I was like, oh, I never saw anybody do that before. But it's amazing how just natural you do it when you are floating. It's just so much fun. I mean, I'm just sitting here with a smile on my face because I know what that feeling is like. And so, I whoever gets to join us, the experience alone is so awesome. But I do have to say, the thing I do really love is then even getting that chance to talk to the astronauts afterwards and talk to them, like, what is the difference from that feeling to when you're in the space station or when you're in, floating in space? Like, the wonder that the astronauts have and how much they love it is infectious, because they'll explain to you like what the difference is, but it's not actually as different as you would think, even though you're doing it here on an airplane.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, well, I think it's worth reiterating too, that for the people here in the audience, if it's out of reach to purchase these directly, we're trying to make that accessible to anyone. So we have a random selection between all of the vMooney token holders in our community. So what vMooney is that you've taken our governance token and then you've locked it for at least 7 days, and that gives you the right to vote inside of our community and the right to join us for experiences like this, like ZeroG.
By the way, I don't mean to interrupt, but it looks like they're announcing the astronauts. If you're
okay.
watching NASA TV, they're two. They just announced the Canadian astronaut, I think, and the first NASA astronaut, Christina Koch. If I'm understanding, I've got it on mute, but I've got the closed captions on, and so they just came up for those of you who are also tuning into the NASA announcement.
Oh, yeah, wow, I'm pulling this up. Yeah. So they announced one of them already from Canada.
So Christina Koch, the NASA astronaut, she just came on stage, and then they just brought up the Canadian guy, and now they're saying a naval test pilot. Let's see, first. Oh, Victor Glover. I knew he was going to be one of them. The African American astronaut. I knew he was going to be one of them. That's awesome. He's the Artemis 2 pilot. Oh, that's so exciting. So one more astronaut to go. Let's see who they select. I hope it's a woman. I hope it's equal men and women. Let's see.
Oh, mine is a little bit delayed. I'm just seeing. Yeah, Glover. Okay. You're ahead of me. You're ahead of me. So let us know.
Yeah. So, oh no, it's gonna be 3 guys and 1 woman. Doggone it. They just announced number 4 is. Oh, it's Reed Weissman. That's interesting. No wonder he stepped down. He was the head of the NASA astronaut office. So I've met him before. So 3 men and 1 woman.
Yeah, wow. Oh, I've also heard that they're considering doing an all women's. Is that true?
I don't know. I would love it. It would be amazing because it's only been men who ever went to the moon. So I don't see why it wouldn't be worth it to have an all female crew at some point, you know.
Yeah. I don't know where I heard that exactly. I'd need to check back, but yeah, that seems like. Yeah, I don't know if I'm just creating fake news right now, but I think I heard something like that. But yeah, wow.
I think it might be wishful thinking on my part, at least.
Yeah, this is an incredible moment.
It's awesome, but I do have to admit, I'm a little disappointed that it's not equal 2 women and 2 men. I was hoping for that, just as a woman, but I guess we got to take the wins where we can.
Yeah, I guess it's better than it was in the 60s at least. So trending in the right direction, but yeah.
All right, though, that's exciting. I mean, what's super exciting to me is that the more that they start to promote this, I really do think, you know, getting more and more people on board with space, that's the point, right? And I'm trying always really hard to get people to understand how space is intertwined in our lives in every way that we can hardly imagine, and to get people to value space and understand why it matters, you know, to be not just looking outward, but how that helps us here on Earth, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're on a space rock right now, going through space at insane speeds, just held together by Earth's gravity. Yeah, sometimes it can be quite a trip to just imagine, you know, that like we're just this tiny blue speck in the middle of the solar system. Yeah.
Well, and that's why I say to people who are like, oh, I don't know what space has to do with me. And I'm like, you live on a planet in space. Like there's a guy that I talked to recently, which thinking about the scuba diving thing, there's a resort that we've been in discussions with about bringing astronauts, but the guy who runs that hotel was like, well, I like it. It's cool. It's astronauts, but I'm still trying to figure out, because we're really focused on oceans, and how does space apply to that? And I said, all you have to think about is the way that the moon affects the tides to understand how space and sea and, planet are totally intertwined. And he was like, oh my God, you have me now. I get it. And that's the connection that I'm always trying to help people see, is don't think of it as a separate thing. It's just another extension of our, where we live, is just trying to go further, more outward. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I guess I'll resume what I was saying with the selection. So yeah, if you can't purchase these tickets directly, don't worry. There are other methods of being selected. So MoonDAO being a DAO, we're going to be voting on one of the flyers. And all you have to do to enter is to create a 1-minute video about why you should be selected. And then we have basically two selection phases. One is the project team will review the entrance, and we'll basically select the top. I'm not sure what it says in the contest rules. I think it's the top 10 or so. Just because we don't want our whole community to go through like hundreds and thousands of videos. But then among those top 10, our community will vote, and the winner will come up with us. So that's very exciting. And then also, if popularity contest isn't your thing, maybe you're a bit more shy, or you like we also want to have a method of entrance that is equal opportunity to everyone. So everyone who gets one of these NFTs has the same chance of being selected. They're free NFTs. You just have to be a MoonDAO member to get one of them. So yeah, pretty good chances of being selected, honestly. Yeah. We'll see how many NFTs are minted in the end, but definitely get one of them. If you're a vMooney holder, they're free. We're doing this for the community to this is just one of many things that we'll be giving exclusively to our community. So yeah, make sure that you check that out. So there are 3 call to actions. I'll repeat them again. 1, you can buy them directly. 2, you can enter for a chance to win through our sweepstakes. And the 3rd is you can create a 1-minute video and then be voted on by the MoonDAO community. So lots of ways to get on this flight. But yeah. Yeah, this is crazy that it's happening right at the same time as the Artemis launch. Thank you guys for being with us while this other very historic announcement is happening. Yeah. But yeah, Mitchie, is there anything else that I'm missing here? Any other thoughts or so by the way, Mitchie created the landing page, which is absolutely beautiful. Mitchie is an artist and he did it in like the span of like less than a week. So he is just,
I love it, Mitchie. I can't wait to share it and promote it. And I know that the hope too is that we have a good chunk of MoonDAO community on the flight, hopefully. So, but I will be telling people outside of the MoonDAO community about it too, which honestly is not a bad thing. It could bring more people into your community that didn't know about you before.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, Christina, honestly, most of the work was supported by the content and the images that you sent. So it wouldn't have been possible without that. And yeah, I don't know. I was happy to do it. I've been making landing pages for many years. We'll see how much longer though with AI developments. But Yeah, I can't think of anything. Probably you pretty much covered it. The three different ways that people can enter. Um, I think maybe people might be wondering if they need to currently hold vMooney or if they will be able to get some vMooney and then enter.
Okay, yeah, good point. Yeah, so you can get vMooney and then enter. You don't have to currently be a vMooney holder. So, if you haven't onboarded yet into our community, the easiest way to do so is to go to our Discord, and then we walk you through everything step by step. We have an awesome newsletter that was put together by Ryan, who's in our audience. And if you sign up for the newsletter, actually every day it'll give you like a small task that takes, you know, five to 10 minutes, and just walks you through what it's like to become more Web3 native, or crypto native. So it walks you through how to get a wallet. It walks you through how to get Ethereum. It explains to you how these decentralized exchanges work. So really, it generalizes to all DAOs, or like any project in Web3. So if you're interested in learning more about how this whole environment works, it's a great series to go through. Yeah, I see that Rod and Lucas have already joined. Lucas Lucas helped a bunch with some social media copy, and has been very active in the project channels too. Thanks for joining us, Lucas. How are you doing? You're muted, Lucas.
In the meantime, let me jump in. I just wanted to say that I have the first ZeroG NFT. I
Nice.
think it's cool. I don't know why, but I think it's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. Name.get in the audience. He designed the NFT. So yeah, it's I love the like MoonDAO astronaut avatar. I don't know if you guys have seen that avatar like dancing around on the moon. That was also a name.get. Yeah, honestly, I think the thing that like warms my heart the most about our community is that like we're doing everything ourselves. So like I can like the feeling of being able to point at name.get and go, yeah, he made the NFT, and Mitchie, like he made the landing page. It's like it's such a I don't know, it's such a special feeling to go like, yeah, we did this. Yeah, so thanks guys. I think we lost Lucas there. But yeah, make sure you get those NFTs. I think all you have to do is you connect your wallet, and it reads if you're a member of ours, and then you have to give it a couple of other like social media profiles. And the reason we're doing that is just so we can link whoever won to like a social media profile, just to make sure that okay, we're like when we select someone, they're not just going, hey, I'm actually this other person. But we can actually confirm that okay, their social medias match. um, yeah, it takes like less than 5 minutes, right, Rod? How long did it take you?
Um, it took me not so long time ago, but I had some issues. But I think I'll just DM Mitch. One of the issues is that when you start minting, you have to connect your wallet, and you have an error that you have to connect your wallet, but it's not obvious where the button is. But after all, it was really easy, and just not perfect, but it works, and I already have it, so I'm not complaining.
You should reach out to Colin about that. He'd be able to better help you with that aspect of it.
Yeah, I think the Connect wallet is in like the bottom left. Usually it's in the top right. But I think that's just
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Good feedback. Balak, I see that you've joined as well. How are you doing, Balak? I saw that Balak has also been translating onto our Chinese social media channels, and yeah, it's a group effort here. Love the decentralized operations we've got going on. How you doing,
Great job, guys. Great, and also the Chainlink. They also see our this news because we will also use the VRF to do the random selection. He told that if we need any support, help something, and they will give us support. As we know, last time we get a bug something, yeah, and and for the second thing that I want to ask, have you guys mentioned that when will be this ZeroG the experience, and also due to there's 3 ways. The other 2 ways is the random selection through Wimuni and also the social media campaign. And how will be achieve it? Just to give a ticket, also will be the accommodation, also insurance will be included.
I can answer a couple of those questions. So June 8th is the day that we will do the VIP tour at Johnson Space Center with the astronauts. So we recommend people arrive on June 7th, which I believe is Wednesday. And then the zero gravity flight will be the morning of the 9th. And you have to keep the day clear because things can happen that can delay taking off if weather's a little iffy in the morning, if it's a bit windy. Or in the last ZeroG flight we had, the governor of Florida came in and it delayed our flight by like about an hour and a half because we have to adhere to the FAA's guidelines. But for the most part, most of the time, everything's on time. But it's just a good idea to keep that in mind. And then also sometimes to keep the day after open because, again, we are at the mercy of the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration. So it's just to keep in mind that sometimes things out of our control can just affect the schedule a little bit. But for sure, we will have the VIP tour with the astronauts on the 8th and then the private dinner for the flyers. And then I think, aside from the community of winning a spot or the other parts with the NFT, if you can buy a spot. If you want to guarantee that you want to get on the flight, you can buy a spot. But the hotel stay is not included in that. Your travel to Houston is not included in that. What's included is the flight, the VIP tour, and the private dinner. That's part of the package.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Christina.
No problem.
Yeah, and Balak alluded to something pretty interesting too, which is that the way that the person is selected is through it's called a VRF, a verifiably random function. So this is an on-chain function. So it's like on the blockchain, it's transparent and verifiable. You can see a function that calls a random number generator and then returns the random number. This is provided to us by Chainlink. Yeah, it's just a very, in my opinion, I think it's like the most transparent way of selecting a winner. Usually with any sweepstakes or thing like this, what people do is they'll hire a third party that like draws a random name out of a hat. But really, there's no way of verifying that they're doing it in any sort of a fair way. So doing it through Chainlink it's actually how our second astronaut was selected, who's going to be the first Chinese citizen to fly to space from U.S. soil. A huge international collaboration. Yan is actually he's doing his visa interview right now as we speak. So this is his last and final try to come to the United States. He's got letter of supports from everyone. So everyone is really pushing to get Yan over here, and yeah, we think we've got it this time. We put together a whole package for Yan to print out. incredibly thick. Because it might be over 50 pages. So some of it is like just articles about MoonDAO and stuff like that, but a bunch of letters too. And yeah, we're really excited. So yeah, it's great to see that Chainlink is will offer us some support on this selection as well. Yeah, and for those of you that are have old at MoonDAO that were there during that first selection, they'll know that when we selected our Blue Origin astronaut, we went backwards. So we had 10 people in rank order that were backup astronauts to the first place grand prize winner. And so we're selecting them live. So we selected the 10th, the 9th, the 8th, the 7th, and so on. And it was all building up to the selection of the first place winner. And we get to the second one, we announce it, and we do a big just like, hey, this is the number one. Like we really hype it up. We click the button, and then it just sits there, and we don't know what's going on. We're waiting for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Then all of a sudden we realize that the Chainlink API went down in that exact moment that we selected for our number one astronaut. And then we actually we tried calling them, figuring out, okay, how are we gonna get this back up and running? It took them a few hours. We actually had to stop the live stream and then restart it again later, and then we selected the number one place. But it was quite dramatic. So hopefully this one won't be as dramatic as that one. But yeah, it added to the story for sure. But yeah, Balak, I think you remember that day. That was it was a stressful day. It was
Yeah.
it was fun though. Yeah.
It's really stressful. Sure, hope we are not have again. And but training said if we need help, they will give us support.
Awesome.
Yeah, and also Yan told me that he has already printed over 50 pages, like a book, to bring to U.S. Embassy in Beijing. So we all wish that he could pass.
Yeah. I think he's got some great chances now. Yeah, with the amount of support that we rallied through, I think that we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
I see Rod's got his hands up. What's up, Rod?
I just wanted to say that we have Inara here. She works on a really important project, and I hope that maybe on the next town hall we'll be able to have an AMA session with her. And I also want to say that a quick update about Gitcoin and DeSci. The things like I would strongly suggest to everyone to join a Gitcoin group on Telegram on DeSci, because a lot of important things happens in that group in terms of not just Gitcoin, but in terms of how people organizes themselves in a small group. Like basically right now, it's a community. This round of Gitcoin is the community-led project, and basically like around 100 random people are trying to find a way to govern the process, and just the way how it works, that what amazes me. I think the world like changed last Friday, because it's just a different approach, and I think it will really affect on the world around us. So I would strongly suggest everyone to take a look and just be a part of that process.
Yeah, thanks, Rod. Yeah, we haven't announced this yet on Twitter socials, but if you're reading our proposals and what we've been voting on, you'll know this already, that MoonDAO is supporting Gitcoin grants round for decentralized science. So we've committed $25,000 to give out to different projects in decentralized science. And for those that don't know, decentralized science is basically a new approach to science where It's more open source. You publish your methods. There's on-chain ways of verifying your data. Yeah, it's a more efficient, open, and transparent way of doing science. And MoonDAO is helping to pioneer the space. So yeah, it's very exciting. Rod, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say that I have maybe a much simpler definition of what is a decentralized science. Decentralized science, it's like a decentralized space, but it's about science, not about space.
Love that. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, but I want to say that I have experience with Gitcoin, and I think all the activity that happens around that community, that's what changed the world. So, and I think everyone, a lot of people here already know about Gitcoin and already participated in Gitcoin. And maybe one of the things that I want to say is that there is a thing that is called Gitcoin passport. Basically, it's a way to verify that you're a human based on your on-chain activities, like on the date of your first transaction, on the amount of NFTs and POAP that you have, and a bunch of other factors. And to be able to donate on Gitcoin, you'll need to reach a certain score with the Gitcoin passport. So if once you start understanding what Gitcoin is, and if you like what Gitcoin is, I would strongly suggest that at that point in time, go to Passport Gitcoin and check what score you have, because it could be a bit easy. It could be quite difficult to get the right score during the round. Oh, and I wanted to say that actually on Saturday, Gitcoin released basic criteria, so there'll be 10 rounds, around 10 rounds, sorry, sub-rounds that will run simultaneously. And all the projects are reliable to apply for as many rounds as is possible. So personally, I will apply to 4 or 5 rounds. And that's like a huge and important thing for Gitcoin, for those who knows how things work. But yeah, in the next couple of days, they'll start receiving applications, and on 25th of April, the round will start.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for all the info, Rod. I see that we're also joined by Manuel up here on stage. How's it going, Manuel? How are you doing?
Yeah, hey guys, I thought I will also jump on stage, but I'm right now outside, so I hope you can hear me loud and clear. I just wanted to add, yeah, you were totally right, Rod. We got a great jump start here with the whole DeFi ecosystem, also with Gitcoin. And the next step is really to look for round managers, for round stewards, who might also, support on the operational side of life. I also see Maria here in the audience, so shout out to you, Maria, because I nominated you, Maria, as one potential round steward. And this is also one shout out for all the people in the audience here. So if you want to support us for the future of decentralized science in space, please feel free to join us to work on this topic. Reach out to Rod or Balak or me. We are mainly like the core team. Lucas is also in here supporting us with social media and all the important stuff. And I'm really looking forward to make this possible with you guys. Great times ahead. So let's make it happen.
Totally. Yeah. Very excited, Manuel. All right. Well, we've been going now for 15 minutes. Oh, I think we might have lost Christina. We might have lost her. But yeah, maybe we should close this up. I do want to reiterate just one more time. Make sure that if you hold vMooney, definitely get the sweepstakes. So NFT. I think that yeah, it's a great opportunity of being selected to go on this flight. And if you're not a vMooney holder, but you'd like to have a chance of winning, you can submit a 1-minute video about why you should be selected. And yeah, and if you if you have the means, you can purchase it directly from the website. It's a little pricey, I will admit, but yeah, we're trying to get the access so that anyone can get one of these tickets regardless of how much money they have. Yeah, Balak, I see you got your hand up.
Yeah, sorry, before close, I have one question, not ZeroG, but due to our Twitter account access. So, because we are gonna to make the marketing push, the main platform is by our Twitter. So, you and Ryan created LastPass that we gonna to use. So, how could we handle this? So, you will give the LastPass to Gitcoin project members or something we ask you to give us, or how? I didn't just want to ask you since here.
Yeah, we can figure out the details of that later, but yeah, basically it'll be through LastPass. Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, we can figure that stuff off like later on Discord. I know that we're about to close up, but I wanted to give Inara Galaxis Girl a second to speak. She's been requesting for a little bit, so would love to hear what she's got to say. But yeah, well, make it relatively quick, and we'll close up.
Absolutely, thank you so much. So my organization, Gaze in Space, is being featured at Yuri's Night this year. And if anyone's local or can get to LA, I'd love to have you there. There's going to be a lot of amazing organizations represented there, and I think MoonDAO should be one of those on the floor en masse. So April 8th, and it's yurisnight.net. Come hang out with us.
Pablo, it would be great to make a tweet about it, so we could distribute them among MoonDAO community members, because it's quite important.
And if there's anything I can do to kind of put MoonDAO out there with my platform at Yuri's Night, I'm happy to do so.
Totally. Yeah. Let's let us know if there's something we can retweet, or if you'd like us to write something, we can do that too. And yeah, it'd be awesome to get a shout out to at Yuri's Night. I know it's a legendary space party, so yeah.
Absolutely. I'll be doing some interviews, so I'll make sure I mention MoonDAO in each of those, and I'll send you some stuff to share for sure. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, yeah, thanks everyone for joining. We'll close this one up. Yeah, make sure you get your ZeroG NFTs. Make sure that you, if you'd like to, make a 60-second video about why you should be selected. And yeah, we'll see you guys at the next one. Thanks everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.